Welcome back, friends. This video is basically on news analysis, fundamental analysis. But before we go into it, I would want to discuss the boring part, the boring bulk of this video. Now, have you subscribed? Have you liked? Have you commented on any of our videos? And have you shared our channel link? Well, if you've not, please do well to do it, and you can do it now. Okay, so having done the boring part, we're gonna get down into it. So this is ForexFactory, basically where you can get the news on both currencies of a pair, stocks, crypto. Crypto has another link, but for Forex, this is where you can grab your news and can be able to trade off the news release for a currency. All right, so we would want to, okay, let me just do a quick recap on how you can use ForexFactory. Now, if you're new to this, just search for forexfactory.com on your browser and create an account if you don't have one. So you can basically create an account from here. If you're using a mobile device, phone, you can actually scroll through your dashboard and you will see where you can create an account. So after you've opened up, you might want to create an account. Then you can basically add your username here. Let's check. Let's use Sloan Trades. Okay, so I can basically use Sloan Trades. Then a password, anything you would want to add. Then you can basically type a password. Then your email address. I believe you know how to do this thing, so let's not burden ourselves with it. So basically, after you're done, you create your account. Then if you're not logged in already, you can actually log in. If it's your first time coming, you can basically, if you've created an account previously and you're not currently logged in on your browser, you can just log in right here and you will be good. So basically, I am logged in. Okay, let me just quickly log in because I think I've not logged in previously. Okay, so now I am logged in and this is my dashboard, which I've been using for quite a while. So let's just go down to the calendar. Now, this calendar is basically what's going to give us the bulk of everything we are doing. All right. So before then, I would want to discuss with us the folders. That is, when you see this now, you see a couple of things: green folder, red folder, yellow, brown. Okay, those things has meanings, they have significances, and that is what I want to discuss with us. Okay, so right here now, at this bar end, if you can see below me, we see the red folder, we see the brown, we see the yellow, then we see the ash or gravy color. Okay, so what does red folder mean? What this red folder news means is a high impact news. Okay, high impact news such as PPI, CPI, FOMC, and well, FOMC can actually be low impact news or medium impact news, which is the brown folder, and NFP also. These are high impact news that can drastically affect the movement of the market, probably for a short time and probably for a long time. It depends on the outcome of the news. Then we have the second, which is the medium impact news, which is the brown folder. Now, particularly, I usually use filter my news so that just the high impact and medium impact news can come out, because low impact has little to no effect on any pair at all. So I usually just filter it out, remove the low impact, and then focus on the high and medium. So for the sake of this video, I added all of them except the non-economic, because I'm not using it for anything. Then we have the medium impact, which can actually affect the movement of the market, maybe for a very short time or something. If you see this one, this is on CNY and it's news loans and it's a medium impact news. Okay, so you can see now the low impact news. Low impact news is more like what's enclosed around here, but I usually do not give any attention to low impact news. Then you can have also the non-economic news, which is basically bank holidays. That's what I target as bank holidays. So these ones do not affect the movement of a currency at all. Like it's not related to any economic news. It's basically maybe, let's say, social news or something like that. Basically, okay. So this also, you can actually see other things, right? See other things that you might see on this dashboard now. On this dashboard now that you probably will not see on others. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about here. And you might also see other related stuff here, like the related stories, more like folders. You get these folders here, then FF alert inside, and a couple of other unnecessary things. So coming to the bulk of this video is the particular news analysis. All right. Normally, these are what I check before I enter a trade. So let me just, okay, let's check the filter. This is your filter tool, and you can basically edit, add or remove whatever thing you want to add from here and whichever currency you want to remove. Okay, so I removed the non-economic news and I am going to remove the yellow folder news now because it's non-significant to me. So I'm removing it. Then I have just the high impact and medium impact. And I can also remove bonds from here. That is things I don't want to see from here. Maybe like something like housing, bonds, because what am I using it for? And then this pitch is basically it can actually affect the currency very very well, including FOMC. That's Jerome Powell's news affects the markets very 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 well. So this is basically, you then remove currencies you don't want to see. I don't see CNY, I don't trade CNY. So other things now I add, then I apply my filter and everything changes from here. You can see now I have just very limited something. It's no longer that long list. I just very limited something on Sunday. I don't have anything on Monday. Okay. So I think that's about it. CNY was actually supposed to be on Monday, but it's not needed. Right, so this is the news analysis here, and from Thursday now, these are red folder news from Thursday, and I probably will be very very careful whenever I'm trading these pairs. When I see a news, and when I see red folder news, I'm very very careful trading it. So let's start from Tuesday now, basically checking the news. So as you can see, this is on GDP, which is by 7 a.m. in the morning, two news on GDP, the average earnings index, and the claimant count change. And if you look at this place now, this is the actual news, what was released at the particular time. Then this is the forecast, what they predicted it to be. And this is the previous, which is 5.6. So basically on this particular thing now, checking the previous, which is 5.6, and then checking the actual, which is 5.3, you can see there is a 0.3 decrease on GBP USD. So on the charts now, the only thing we'll be looking at now is a slight or a short-term sell or dump in this GBP USD currency. Because if you look closely now, the previous news that was released was 5.6. The forecast, what they predicted to be, was 5.5, but the actual thing that came out was way lower than what they predicted. So basically now this doesn't work. Okay, there is a dump in GBP USD at this particular news, which is the average earning index. So is the second one, claimant count change. Now claimant count change has the previous at minus 21.2k. The forecast is 9.5k, then the actual is 33.1k. Okay, so at this point now, the actual is higher than whatever it was both in the prediction and in the previous. So basically now there might just be a tie in the market. Maybe there is no significant move or there is actually a short-term move in the market. So let me open the details of this pair so that we can read a couple of things about it. Now, this is the source from where the news was released, the latest source. And this is the measures, change in the number of people claiming unemployment-related benefits during the previous months. Then this is the usual effect. Actual less than forecast is good for currency. Okay, so when it's lesser, when the actual, when what it is that is released is lesser, then it's good for the currency. But in this case, it's higher. Okay, so basically, the frequency is released monthly after 16 days after the month ends. So this is released monthly, and the next release is by July 17th, 2025. Then FF notes. This is basically a note that usually adds to it, and why traders should care. Okay, so if this is actually a stock pair, you might actually see investors not wanting to put in their money, not wanting to invest because, of course, the stock might fluctuate for a while before it balances or normalizes. So this is also called jobless claims or unemployment change. All right. So from the name, you can basically understand what it means, which is the um claims of the unemployment in Great Britain pounds. You get, that's basically the summary of what it means. So same thing goes for every other news. Let's target a high impact news. Okay, let's target this one, which is for yesterday, Wednesday. And okay, yeah, CPI, core CPI, 1:30 p.m. on EUSD. And you can see the previous was at 0.2, the forecast was at 0.3, but the actual came out at 0.1, which is significantly a dump in the market. And from the details of it, you can see the news release source, Bureau of Labor Statistics, the measures, change in the price of goods and services purchased by customers, excluding food and energy. Usual effect, actual greater than forecast is good for currency, but actual is less than forecast. So it's bad for the currency. Then frequency. So basically, let's not really go down to every other single thing concerning this. But basically, you should understand that when the actual is greater than the forecast, it's good for the currency. But when the actual is less than the forecast, it's bad for the currency. There is going to be a short-term sell or dump or fluctuation. All right. So once again, I think we'll not really go down to the rest. You understood what I'm trying to say from the descriptions and explanations given in the previous one. Please do also like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very, very much, and see you in the next video.